Ahead of the November 8 Anambra governorship election, the All Progressives Congress has finalized a screen of 7 aspirants vying for the party's ticket. The primary election set for the 5th of April will determine who flies the APC flag in the crucial race against incumbent Governor Chukwuma of the All Progressives Grand Alliance. Well, the 7 aspirants cleared for the primaries include John Bosco Onoko, Valentino Zigbo, Paul Chukwuma, Obiora Okonko, Chukwuma Omioje, Nicholas Ukachukwu, and Edozie Madu. Each of these aspirants brings a unique mix of experience, but who will be the flag bearer to represent the ruling party? Well, in Anambra, the APC is an opposition party. Later on this year, let's bring in one of the 7 jostling for the APC ticket in Anambra. Mr. Paul Chukwuma joins me live on the program. Thanks for joining us this hour. Historically, Anambra is an APGA stronghold. The APC has struggled to gain a strong foothold over the years, and it's often seen as an outsider party. We've also seen APGA's dominance and Peter Obi's influence. What makes you think APC stands a chance? And how do you plan to change that perception?
Thank you very much, Nifemi, for having me. Yes, APGA is the current ruling party in Anambra State. But come November 8, 2025, that will change. APC is, as we speak, the party to beat in this coming election. And we're not just saying it for the sake of saying it. I've taken time over the past 3 years to rebuild the APC. I've taken time to get APC down to the grassroots. And politics is about the grassroots. We are currently properly established in the 326 wards of Anambra State. And we are selling the agenda and the manifesto of the party, and we're engaging in the Anambra at the grassroots level in terms of how the APC government will be different from what we are currently facing under the APGA administration. You will recall in the last, since the current administration came to Anambra State, we have had one litany of problems, the biggest being insecurity. In Anambra today, regardless of the hogwatch arrangement on combating insecurity, we are still far from the reality. On ground is that Anambra is very much far from being a secure state. We still have incessant cases of kidnapping and killing and maiming of citizens.
I hear you clearly, Mr. Chukwuma. Interestingly, these challenges were there in the last election. Anambra, they say, have largely rejected the APC in past elections due to certain fundamental political differences. But this is 2025, right? They say APC carries the baggage of decisions like removal of fuel subsidy, the inflation as it is currently, as well as insecurity that you have mentioned. How do you distance yourself from this perceived negative perception of the APC performance at the Central?
Yeah, perceive. I mean, allegation is allegation. We look at facts. In Anambra State today, we must also differentiate between the responsibilities of the federal government and that of the subnational government. The issues bedeviling Anambra State has nothing to do with the federal government, the APC-led administration of the Tinubu administration. The truth of the matter is that in Anambra State today, we are dealing with local issues. Insecurity in Anambra has nothing whatsoever to do with the APC-led government at the center. It's purely an internal local issue, And with the right government in place, the issues of insecurity will be a thing of the past. I don't see how we should be talking about insecurity with myself as the governor of Anambra State, because it's a no-brainer. We don't need to raise issues that are non-existent. In Anambra today, for instance, we're having the problem of infrastructure. It has something to do with the federal government. We're having the problem of security. It has nothing to do with federal government, because the state government still receives a security vote. We are having the problem of assets, good access road to farmlands. It has nothing to do, these are all state roads, rural roads. So the problem is purely local, 100% local. And when you talk about APC being rejected in Anambra State, that's not correct. Recall that as a legacy party, we've won elections, we've won Senate, we've won the Senate seat, we've won the House of Rep seats, we've won. So it's not as if APC is new to Anambra, but there's this grand, plan by the Apuga ruling government to blackmail and paint APC black at the state. But we have uncovered that, and we have also reached out to our people with the facts. The facts here is that the state government, the Apuga ruling government at the state has failed in providing the dividend of democracy to Anambra.
There is also a way you make it sound so bad in Anambra, because I've read a couple of your interviews. You've criticized Governor Soludo's handling of security and taxation, among others. But as we speak, Anambra still ranks among Nigeria's top states in the area of ease of doing business and education. What specifically do you think is wrong with this administration? It just celebrated, I think, 3 years in office recently, and he has a long list of achievements to tell Nigerians.
Yeah, maybe you may need to mention those achievements. I would like to hear you.
They're in the public, Mr. Chukwuma. Are you saying you're not paying attention to what's happening in your state?
No, you tell me. Nifemi, it's not.
You could just Google it right now while we speak. Because I don't speak for Governor Soludo in the real sense.
No, with specifics. So you should quote the news media or the agency that...
I just told you about ranking high. Anambra ranks 7th, I believe, when it comes to ease of doing business. It has about over 70% of education integration, ranking high in the area of quality education in Nigeria. I mean, that's fact. You can fact check it.
Talking about education, the fact remains you need to find out how Anambra is where it is in education, sector, because the Catholic Church, has been the brain behind the progress we are recording in education. Not just the Catholic Church, also the Anglican Church, the churches. Remember, under the administration of Dr. Chris Nwabezengige, the process of handing over the schools back to the school, to the missions, to the churches started, and it found expression, to its fullest during the administration of Governor Peter Obi in Anambra State. Now, today, what you see, the progress we've recorded in education is to a very large extent coming from the effort of the churches, the Catholic Church in particular, and then the Anglican Church, who are handling schools, in Anambra State. So majority of these schools, you need to look at it. I can tell you clearly that in some towns in Anambra State, you don't even have a presence of the public state school. What you have is the mission schools. So the credit about the progress we've recorded as a people in Anambra State in terms of education, must, go to the Catholic Church and the missionary schools, not to the state government.
All right. Let's talk about you for a minute. You've held key positions in the APC, I believe, including national auditor and your roles in mobilization. But, some of your critics say you're a party financier rather than an ideologically driven politician. How do you respond to claims that Your donations, like the new secretariat, are transactional moves to secure the ticket.
No, it's laughable, and I don't think any reasonable human being can, make that hold such opinion, because it's really nonsensical. In the first place, you spend your money on what you believe in. Ideology, we founded this party, and the principles of behind the foundation of this party is quite clear to us, the foundation members. And I've been supporting the party from inception. This is not something I started doing today. It's on record that the new face of Anambra State APC, was made possible courtesy of my personal involvement, not only my financial contribution, but also my guidance, my advice. We've held the party, and we've managed to identify the problems bedeviling the party, and we started with solving these problems. Myself and a number of progressive-minded APC members in Anambra State sat down and then run a blueprint of where we are, where we are currently, and where we want the party to be. And then, so we started by cleaning up the party. That's exactly why you see all manner of people indicating interest in the party. So it's purely an ideology-based movement, and it has basically nothing to do with just the financial part. Is the list of the contribution. All right. We've sat down to brainstorm to make sure that we bring the issues affecting the Anambra, and then got the party to interface. That's why we are doing well at the grassroots. All right. And that's basically what it is.
Your primary election is due in about 10 days, and there are 6 other aspirants in this race, including philanthropists like yourself. There's a former banker and ex-CEO of Transcorp PLC. There's a seasoned engineer and oil and gas expert, a legal practitioner, a long list of other, quite qualified individuals. How do you stand? What would you say your chances are in the election?
Yes, the primary election is an internal election of the party, and amongst the criteria for electing a candidate that will fly the flag of the party is knowledge of the party manifesto, understanding what the party stands for and what the party is all about. And I think among the aspirants, I come on top in this area. And also, if you go by the statutory requirement as a basis for qualifying to contest an election in Nigeria of this the governorship election, of course, nobody would raise any doubt about my qualification. But above all, what is important is the teaming members of our party, the members of our party at the grassroots have over time, including at the just concluded delegate election, demonstrated that they are more than happy and willing to have me as the candidate of the party come November 8th election. So while recognizing the fact that my colleagues, other aspirants are equally qualified when it comes to understanding what the party is all about and the manifesto of the party and how we need to integrate the manifesto with the needs of Anambra. Of course, I'm on top of the list.
What your other 6 contestants would say as well. We've had the APC national chairman assuring all aspirants of a fair and transparent primary process. But some say primaries are often influenced by money and federal might. How confident are you in the integrity and fairness of the process?
Very confident. very confident, and this confidence finds expression from the support base, I've garnered, within the party. Like I said, we just came out of delegate elections where they get to publish the final list, understanding that the National Working Committee needs to sit to approve that. But from that exercise, it was very clear that the members of the party at the grassroots across the wards, the 326 ward, have taken a decision, have made a very clear position that the preferred candidate for this election in terms of the candidate of the party is Chukwuma.
So, Mr. Chukwuma, if you lose this primary, will you support the winner?
I founded this, I'm a member, foundation member of the party, and I've never, if you look at my history, I've been loyal to the party, I've been consistent, I've never switched party. I don't believe in switching parties, and I've been a loyal member of the party, and I've been consistent with my membership and my support of the party. Of course, this is not a do or die process. What is important is that Anambra gets the right leadership that will take Anambra to the next level. So I am more than happy to support the party, regardless of whether the winner of the primaries or not. Is about the party, is about Anambra, is not about Chukwuma. So what is important to me is that Anambra gets a leadership that they will be proud of in terms of the governor of the state.
Yeah, when you say you haven't left the party, I hope you are not subtly targeting, an aspirant who came from the Labour Party. But we have completely run out of time. Paul Chukwuma.
No. The aspirant that came from Labour Party, I've had interviews and his name came up. He's a very great Anambra, politician. Right. And so I'm not, but I'm just saying that I've been consistent. I have a track of consistency and loyalty.
We'll continue this conversation. Wish you all the best, Mr. Chukwuma, and perhaps we'll have this conversation again after the primary election. Thank you so much for talking to us on TVC News.
Thank you very much, Nifemi. Thank you for having me.
That's our show today, everyone. You can watch it again at midnight and at 6 a.m. tomorrow. I am Nifemi.